Welcome to the DIY Writer Show with the mild-mannered, slightly heroic host, Jeff Bacon.
Today I have a mother, an author, and a podcaster. She is the author of the Tides of Darkness series, and with her latest book just released on the 7th of October this year, 2020, titled Darkness Loves Company. I'd like to introduce you to Sarah Blair. Sarah, how you doing today?
I'm doing great. How about you?
Oh, not too bad. What can you tell me about your book and your series?
Well, Tides of Darkness series is an adult urban fantasy series. I like to call it my sexy, snarky, supernatural. If you love the X-Files, you love Buffy.
Yeah.
It's for you. So yeah, I like to write about monsters and steamy romance, and I never could really decide on whether I wanted to do exclusively romance or exclusively, the mystery monster stuff. So that's kind of why I chose to become an independent author, because I didn't really fit into, a box as far as all the marketing and the traditional publishing goes. So yeah, that's
that's kind of what a lot of indie authors run into, is that when you try and publish your book and you write this book and it kind of flirts with all sorts of different genres and everything else, the publishers don't know what to do with it.
Yeah.
And
I like to say I wrote the book I wanted to read. So
yeah,
and that includes a lot of different things. Demon koalas and all of that stuff.
The thing about publishers is I don't think they're of the mindset of actually publishing something like that. Some are, but it seems like every author I talk to that has a brush with a publisher says, well, they really like the story, but they couldn't figure out how to fit it into their calendar, or they couldn't figure out how to fit it into their marketing or their, blah, 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 blah. And there's all these different things. Whereas indie publishing, you can just go ahead and publish it. Costs you a little bit more up front, but you reap the benefits afterwards.
Yeah, worth it.
Yeah, absolutely worth it. So you wrote this thing and you said, if you like the X-Files or you like Buffy the Vampire Slayer, you'll love Darkness Loves Company. So are you an X-Files fan?
A little bit.
Okay. Just kind of on the fringe there, or are you like,
I've only been obsessed with it for 25 years. No.
Oh.
Yeah. X-Files, bad blood back here. Yeah. So that's JJ Lindell. Shout out to JJ, my buddy. Yeah. He does artwork for the show. But
you need to tell everybody you need to tell everybody what show you're talking about.
The X-Files. And I do the podcast called the X-Cast podcast.
Yeah.
And we just nerd out over the X-Files. It's so much fun. Yeah.
All right. So who's your favorite character?
Skinner.
Really?
Yes. Oh my gosh, yes. Everybody knows I love Skinner. I've got Skinner here. I've got Team Skinner. I've got Skinner bracelets. Team Skinner bracelets. Yes.
Wow.
I'm all Skinner all the time.
You are all in, aren't you?
Oh yeah.
I have to say my favorite guy is Cigarette Smoking Man.
Yes.
Yeah. He's like the perfect villain,
You think so?
I think so. I mean, he's just kind of, he's been all around, there's so many things in history that they bring up where he was a part of it, like the shooting of JFK and then, this landing and that landing. And, when they bring it in that he's Mulder's, am I spoiling this for anybody? I don't know, but Mulder's father, and then there's all this plot twist and subplot and blah 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 blah. It's like kind of cool, but
yeah, he's definitely an interesting villain.
Yeah,
sure. Yeah.
So what did you think about the reboot that they had a couple of years back?
I really liked the middle episodes. The my struggles probably could have done without those. But the middle episodes were great, especially in season 11. I mean, you got Mulder and Scully like really getting back to the core of what made the X-Files so fun, and investigating like the creepy cases back in Vancouver, and just some really fun moments. It was a great for the shippers, which I'm definitely a shipper, unapologetic. So yeah, it was really nice. There were some really great episodes, especially Lost Art of Forehead Sweat, probably my favorite in the new series. Good classic X-Files.
The thing I like about X-Files overall is that you had this general plot that they're following, and then they go off on tangents. There'd just be this tangent, where they have to go someplace and, investigate something, this cancer eating, this man who has to eat cancer to survive, and this, that, and the other thing. And then they bring it back to the plot. And I just thought that was the coolest thing when I was watching it. Was on network TV, but
yeah. And that's the fun part, because, you have the X-Files has the Monster of the Week episodes. You've got the mythology episodes that have like the through line, and it's got a little bit of something for everybody, because, you've got some that are lighter, they're a little bit more humorous, or some that are more horror based. And, it's just a little bit for everybody. And that's what really makes it so fun, because you can talk about it in depth, like nonstop. Like you can analyze it to the end of the earth, because there's so much to talk about and so many different fans.
So this was the influence for your writing?
Yes, absolutely.
Okay.
That's how I got my start writing, was with X-Files fan fiction. So
really?
Yeah.
I would have never guessed. Something to do with the X-Files.
Yeah. So, watching the show really taught me a lot about what I enjoy as, watching and reading, the kinds of stuff that I like to read. Like I love everything that's creepy and mysterious. I really enjoy the procedurals. And being a shipper, I just always wanted Mulder and Scully to get together. So, I think that all just kind of influenced my writing, and I sort of just put a lot of that into it. So, I base my books around, or try to base my books around, like a procedural sort of outline, I guess. So there's a murder, some gory stuff happens, there's some action, and then there's relationship stuff to include. So a little bit of everything.
The infamous relationship stuff. Oh boy.
Yeah.
Romance. I don't write romance, so I can't even do it in real life. So I'm not even sure why I'd, try and write about it. I'd have to take a class from somebody like you, and this is how you write romance. No. Anyway.
I mean, it's fun. So
yeah. So your first book was released, which was the book one of the Tides of Darkness Shifting, in 2016.
Yes.
And then you came back and have a prequel, which you just released in October of this year.
Yes.
So are you going to relaunch the first book?
I did redo the cover. And I redid the interior. Just the formatting, I changed that up a little bit and freshened it up. So yeah, I don't know that I'm gonna like relaunch it, but it's a lot of fun. It kind of got to where I really chose to want to do independent, go to be an independent author, because I had 2 kids. They were both little. I finished Darkness Shifting and made the decision to publish right after my second child was born. And she was just a brand new baby, and I put it out there, and I was like, yeah, this is going to be fine. I can totally finish. I actually had almost finished the first draft of the sequel. And so I was like, yeah, I'm in good shape. This is fine. And, you know, then life happened.
Mm-hmm.
I had 2 little kids. I had a 3-year-old and a new baby. So between, you know, I taught preschool, I went back to teaching. And so it just sort of, I wrote when I could, and the prequel came up because I was going to try to do a reader magnet for a newsletter. And I was like, this will be fine. It'll just be 20,000 words. And it ended up being, you know, 72,000 words and an actual book with a real solid plot. And I was not expecting that at all.
Yeah.
So, you know, you just go where the wind takes you, I guess. And I cannot imagine that if I had an agent and I was traditionally published, that I don't know that it would have turned out that way at all. Because they would have been like, yeah, you can work on the prequel later. Like, you need to work on the sequel, or, you know. So I'm happy that I have that flexibility, and I enjoy that.
It's my understanding that most publishers will say, okay, now we need a second book and a third book, and they'll give you kind of a deadline because it's a marketing issue, and it, you know, they've dedicated time to it. Whereas, you know, in the situation where you have kids, you don't always hit those deadlines, or, you know, the pandemic happens and all of a sudden, you know, the world goes to shit and you're like, yeah, sure, I'll go ahead and get that book out.
Exactly. Yeah, it's just, and I do well with deadlines, but I'm one of those people that I work better under pressure. So I leave everything I can until the last minute, and then I like do it all at once. So, you know, with kids, you can't really plan that.
No.
Because, you know, you wait till the last minute and then one of them is going to get sick or break an arm or leg or something, and it's just not going to happen. And so I think that was the biggest draw for me, was, you know, being able to have that flexibility.
I think the, you know, breaking the arm, getting sick, dropping a bowl of spaghetti, taking a piece of pizza, applying it to the wall, you know, just all that fun stuff.
All of which has happened at my house.
Hey, Mom, I found the Sharpies. Look what I made for you. Oh, shit.
I mean, you can't see it, but that's actually on my wall.
That's
yeah.
Oh, yeah. There we go. Yeah. That's art right there, my friends.
It happens. And just put a little frame around it and move on with our lives. Yeah.
Right. It's interpretive.
So, that's how I got my book done. Is, you know, I traded the book for the drawing on the wall.
Sure. And that's, you know, most indie authors, that's kind of the way it goes. It's not like, you know, you can sit down and you have 12 hours to write.
Yeah,
you know?
That's not.
For a lot of people, that's not the truth. I mean, that's not reality. That's, you know, you're writing at 10 o'clock at night when everybody else is asleep, or, you know, you're getting up at 4 o'clock in the morning so you can get your words in while everybody hopefully stays asleep. And that doesn't always happen.
Exactly. You know? Yeah.
But
I'm more of a morning writer. I had to be, because by the end of the day, I'm so tired and just so burnt out that I just can't function. So I usually try to get up early and I get my coffee and I sit down, and I've just had to be, by necessity, more of a morning person now.
Sure.
So
I think that happens to a lot of people. So like in mine, my wife gets up really, really early. I get up fairly early, you know, and then she goes to bed early and I stay up late.
Yeah, that's about how it is at our house too. Yeah.
Yeah, just, you know.
Yeah.
I can stay up till midnight and get up at 5:30, 6 o'clock, and I'm fine. And she gets up at 3 because she has stuff to do. And it's like, okay.
Yeah. I'm usually up about 4:30, 5 o'clock, asleep by, you know, 10, 11.
Yeah.
Yeah. So.
No, hopefully on a usual night at the old Bacon household, everybody but me is asleep by 8.
Yeah.
8:30-ish, something like that. Like,
our kids are kind of night owls. They like to stay up.
Yeah.
You know, if we let them, they would stay up all night.
How old are your kids now?
They're 8 and 5 now.
8 and 5. So have you introduced them to the X-Files?
Yes.
Oh, are they big fans, or are they kind of like, oh my God, Mom?
Oh
This is
no,
horrible.
my 8-year-old, he doesn't really like it much. But he's like, Mommy, why are you watching that again? If everybody dies on that show, why are you watching that again? I was like, because I like it. He's like, why do you want to see people dying? Why do you want to see monsters? I'm like, because it's scary and it's fun. But my 5-year-old, she's a little bit more, she's more into it like I am. And so we watched we just recorded the Rain King in season 6, and it's literally nothing scary happens in that episode. So I was like, it's the one episode of the X-Files that I can watch beginning to end with my kids, and nothing scary happens. It's like the least scary episode. Nobody dies. Nothing. Mm-hmm.
I'm a fan of the X-Files. I mean, I like them just fine. I don't know the episode names, and I just kind of remember it, and it was a good show and everything, but I can't really geek out with you on it because like, oh, that episode, okay, the Rain King, oh yeah, okay, yeah.
That's the one where they go to Kansas, and the guy with where he makes it rain, and it's with Victoria Jackson's in it. It ends with rainbows and hearts and butterflies, and it's just happy. Yeah.
Just a happy episode.
It is. It's like the happiest X-Files episode. It's so light. Yeah, it's good.
So on the Xcast, you are you're a showrunner now.
Yes.
So you are big time.
Yeah. It's fun.
What's it like? I mean, I looked at the podcast a little bit. I haven't listened to an episode yet, but I do plan to. And who knows, maybe I'll call you back up and say we need to do another we need to do an X-Files episode, type thing. But what's that like? It looks like you guys interview cast members from the show.
Mm-hmm.
Even
I have talked with Annabeth Gish, I've talked with Karen Conoval, and Kristen Cloak Morgan. It's been fun. We did XCast live from X Fest 2 last. When was that? I don't even remember what is time anymore. I think it was last year. Was it?
Well, it had to be, because this year we have nothing.
No, yeah, I think it was last year, or maybe the year. Yeah. Anyways, it's previous, before 2020, but in the before times. But we have half of our cast is in the UK. So all of my other producers and showrunners are over in the UK. And we had a bunch of, guests, and, just, we're all X-Files fans. So we all went to X-Fest in Chicago, and we met up and had just the best time. And I got everybody on Marco Polo. So we have a special Marco Polo channel, and we just talk all the time. It's been the best for quarantine because it really keeps us, in touch, and we just are able to talk to each other and hang out together. And it's just really a fun crew. So we have a good time nerding out about the X-Files. It's really fun.
It's got to be a little rough though, with everybody being in the UK, or a large amount of them, because that creates a time problem.
Well, for me, I prefer to, record early in the morning. So it actually works out pretty well for us. I'll be up, and we'll start recording usually around 6 a.m. my time, which is about 11 their time. And we try to go for weekends, or, evenings for them as afternoons for me, which is also a good time. So it pretty much works out okay. And, we're just all spread out all over the United States too. So we've got people in Kentucky and Oregon and all over the place. It's fun.
So what do you guys call yourselves? X-File, what? Xers, what?
X-Files, PH X-Files.
PH X-Files?
Yeah. Because file is love.
Yeah.
So
okay.
the X-File, we're the X-Files. But As far as like X-casters go, we're just the X-cast crew.
Just the X-casters. All right.
Yeah, the X-casters.
Cool. So what can you tell me about Mrs. Larson?
Oh, Mrs. Larson. Well, that is a fun story. I got invited to do actual acting for the Shelf Life podcast sitcom that my friend Harry Marks wrote, and he invited me to be on that. So that's a really fun sitcom. It takes place in a bookshop, and there's just all kinds of fun characters that come into the bookshop and torment the poor owner. And, he's just like this miserable, bookstore owner who just wants everybody to leave him alone. But, he's running a bookshop, so he needs to actually sell books, and, chaos ensues.
Chaos ensues.
Yeah.
So it's not like Barnes and Noble.
No, it's a tiny little independent store with a coffee shop next door in a little bitty town, and it's very quaint.
Way back in 2019, I went to Barnes and Noble, and I hadn't been there in a while, and I thought it was really funny that and I was actually kind of meandering around in their audiobooks and stuff like that, and I wanted to see what else was out, and I picked up a couple of books or whatever, but I'd never gone back into the section where the kids are. And they have that play section where they can read books and they can do this and they can do that, which is really cool, except for this one kid was running around and he had this big book. I mean, it was a big book. It was a picture book, and he's running around with this book, and he wants it and he wants it. And his mom's telling him no. And so he goes over to his little brother and smacks him on the head with it.
Yeah. Speaking of kids, you called her forth.
Oh, hey.
What you need? You need some more milk? Okay. Well, we're almost done here, okay? You can hang on for just a minute. Go watch your show. We got this. Say hi to Mr. Jeff. Hi.
Hey, how you doing? Can't hear me, but yeah, well. I can actually pause this if you want to go.
Yeah. Okay. All right. I'll be right back.
So we're going to pause this for a minute. All right. I'm going to hit the record button again. Hit resume. Woohoo. And we're back. So did you get the milk?
I did. I got the milk.
Awesome. You're such a good mom.
Oh, thanks. This is what it's like to write. It's like write 5 sentences. Oh, gotta go get milk. Write, another few sentences.
I've got a 20-year-old that will do that to me. I'll be sitting there just writing and Dad. Give me a minute. Okay. And she'll just stand there and be like, okay, I can't write. Okay. What do you need?
Yeah. It happens.
Yeah, it does.
But both of my kids are Leos too, so they need all the attention.
Oh.
Yeah.
Leos. I'm sorry. No. So what's your sign?
Me, I'm an Aries.
An Aries.
Yeah.
Oh, so what are you complaining about? No, just kidding. Cool beans. So we've hit X-Files. We were talking about Mrs. Larson and the tragic comedy in a bookstore where the guy doesn't want to see people, but he has to have them.
Best.
Yeah. Well, and we talked about your book. What else is going on? You're down there in Georgia, and you said it was raining out.
Yeah, it's raining. Starting to cool off a little bit. So we had a nice day yesterday, but
what's cool in what's cool in Georgia?
Well, today it's 65 degrees.
Oh, that's freezing.
I know you're in Wisconsin.
I'm in Wisconsin, yeah.
Yeah.
So
well, I was gonna ask you about that. My grandparents were in Sussex.
Sure.
And my brother's up in Rhinelander, home of the Hodags. Hodags.
That's what they go up north around here.
Yeah.
You gotta go up north.
Yeah.
But
And they always say, oh, we're going down south. And I'm like, oh, really? Where are you going down south? They're like, oh, yeah, we're going to Milwaukee. I'm like, oh, that's not south. I'm from Tennessee, from Georgia. Tennessee girl here. That's not south.
That's kind of what I like about where I live, because I'm like 30 minutes away from Madison.
Yeah.
An hour away from Milwaukee. I'm an hour and a half away from Chicago. 4 or 5 hours ish from St. Louis, depending on road construction. So it's not too bad. 5 hours from the cities, Minneapolis and St. Paul.
Mm-hmm.
It's not too bad. It's easy to get around.
Yeah.
Right there on the old Illinois border of Wisconsin, southern Wisconsin. Southern Wisconsin.
I heard you. I hear you.
Yeah. We have this weird dialect here. I don't know where it even comes from. It's just whatever. I was on a podcast and somebody said, I really love your accent. And it's like, what accent? I don't have an accent. You do.
Yeah. Good old Southern girl down here, but I can pull a good Wisconsin.
I thought it was funny, but a New Zealander said I had a weird accent. It's like, really? It's odd.
Yeah.
Dutch. Oh, well, anyway. So what else you got for me? What else you want to talk about? When's your next book coming out?
Hopefully, knock on wood, next year. I don't know. Depends on
I thought you had it written.
Yeah, I'm revising it. I've been revising it for 4 years, so that's how that's going. I wrote a whole other book just to avoid revising this book, so
Oh, one of those things, huh?
We'll see. And I just, I just had an idea the other day for a book 5, which I was not planning.
Isn't that amazing how that happens? So you've got a prequel in book 1, you've got book 2 written, and you're already planning book 5.
Yeah.
So is that those first 2 included in book 5, or is it book 5 plus the prequel?
Yeah, so that's including the prequel. So I originally had, it was going to be a trilogy. Then I added the prequel. I'm writing the sequel. I'm very, C.S. Lewis. You can read them in any order. It's fine.
In any order. All right.
But yeah, so, and then I'm going to have a book 3. And then I've got 2, origins stories. So they're going to be like prequels. Okay. So we're going like back to the original. It's going to be first century Great Britain business in there. So it's going to be like historical epic fantasy. It's going to be, a lot of fun. So we're going to get like the origins of King Arthur and all of that. So
really?
Yeah. And then we're going to go back to the future. And there's going to be a lot of time hopping going on.
Okay.
In book 5.
So these prequels, are they going to be short stories that you're going to use for magnets then, or lead magnets?
No, they are probably going to have to be, big epic fantasy. Yeah.
Wow.
I mean, the sequel that I'm writing right now, hopefully it won't be quite as long. I think it's sitting at like 120,000 words right now. It's the longest thing I've ever written. But I'm basically pulling it apart completely and completely just redoing it because I had the plot was all wrong. So I had to
You know what I'm playing with? I've got this new series that I'm screwing around with. And what I'm playing with is making them about 25,000 words. And it, so it's not flash fiction, but it's kind of just these short little bing, bing, bings, and writing like 9 of them and then putting one out every, let's say 21 days. Mm-hmm. And until the whole entire book's done. Because otherwise the book's like, War and Peace. But I thought, yeah, if I broke this up into episodes and wrote episodes, maybe that might be kind of fun. And so I've
Yeah.
been kind of playing with that. And so then I play with that, and it's like, no, get back to your series, dude. Come on.
Yeah. Well, that's what I think is kind of trending now, is the shorter fiction that, you release quicker. So it's more quantity over, because you
Oh, don't
got
go quality there, Miss Epic Fantasy.
but like smaller bites, because that's what people want to, they just want to sit down and read something real quick and then be done.
Yeah, and I think that's just because we all have attention deficit disorder of some sort. But, I talked to a lot of my buddies who write epic fantasy, and they're like, okay, I just wrote 170,000 words, and they still sell it for $2.99, $3.99, whatever,
You have to, because, I just upped the price on my books, and $3.99, that's not a lot for 70,000 words.
Right. But, urban fantasy,
But
we
nobody
write
wants to
50,
buy it.
60,000 words and we sell it for the same price.
Yeah.
And these short little series things, they're going out for $2.99 each. And they're selling like hotcakes. And it's like, 25,000 words, you're going to sell that for $2.99. And people are like, yeah, if it's a good story, I mean,
right.
If it sucks, it won't sell, but
Yeah, I actually just wrote sort of a little short standalone. It's like 5,000 words.
Yeah.
That I'm thinking of probably putting up on Amazon for like an Amazon short. Just to like, it goes with the series. It's just a little sort of standalone thing with one of the characters.
I've been writing these short stories and putting them out in anthologies where I control the, I still control the rights, so no one else controls the rights. And they're all kind of maybe prequels, but they're short stories that back build a character that I have in my book, of some sort. Or like I wrote one last spring that was actually 2 new characters I'm introducing in another book, in my series. And what I was thinking about doing is not publishing them individually, but throwing them together and making my own anthology out of them. But doing that, or else just throwing them all out for lead magnets. I don't know.
Lead magnets. I know, right? Well, that's the fun of being an independent author. I mean, you can just do what you want, and if it doesn't work, you try something else. So there you go.
Yeah, there's no marketing person in charge. It's just us crazy authors. I think I'm going to go on Pinterest today. Whatever.
That's fine.
Yeah.
Whatever gets it done.
Well, it doesn't necessarily get done, but sure is a nice waste of time so you don't have to write.
Exactly. But that is writing. I count it for writing. If you're researching your characters.
Do you put that in your word count, do you?
Mm-hmm.
All your social media and all that kind of stuff?
Sure.
I wrote a post on politics today. That goes right to my word count. How are things going in Georgia as far as that goes?
Oh, Lord help us.
Uh-huh.
Yeah. Just
us too.
Yeah, it's crazy. I'm excited for the runoff, so we need all the help we can get with that.
I am laughing because I'm probably the only person in Wisconsin that's going, you know what? They're recounting, they're going to canvass, then they're going to recount it, and they're going to do this. It's going to be Christmas before we have any idea what's going on, and everybody's got their, oh my gosh, we won hands down. And then the other side's like, no. Illegal votes, illegal, So, oh, okay. Well, I guess we'll see. And then Georgia's kind of in the same boat, Pennsylvania.
Mm-hmm. Well, Georgia, I think, is trying to be careful. Like, as far as I know, we haven't called anything yet. So
yeah, I was laughing because there was a headline election night on Georgia. It's like, water main breaks, voting closed. It's like, okay.
Yeah. I'm thankful we have Stacey Abrams, and It's fine. It'll all be fine.
It'll be fine.
It'll work out.
No matter what happens, we'll all live through it.
Hopefully.
Oh no, we will. Piece of cake.
Yeah.
The nice thing about authors is that, you know, if you don't like what's happening, you can just make up an alternative universe and write whatever you want.
It's been great. I've been perpetually rereading Red, White, and Royal Blue by Casey McQuiston all year. Just I finish it and then I just start back at the beginning. Like I just need a good book that's happy right now.
See, I've been playing with just writing conspiracy theories, and you know, I started writing them, and then all of a sudden Fox News wanted me to work for them. So I just
so that's why you like Cancer Man.
Stop. Yeah, well, you know, you got to write your own narrative.
He certainly does.
He certainly does. He certainly does. He has a unique perspective on things.
Exactly. But, yeah. So
cool. So, do you have anything else you want to add for all your fans out there that are dying to know more about Sarah Blair?
I don't know.
What do you mean you don't know?
I mean,
you're running the show here.
I think no.
Expert podcaster, actress, you know.
Oh no, I'm sitting in the guest chair today, sir.
What's that?
All on you. I'm sitting in the guest chair today, sir. This is all on you.
Oh shit. Okay. Well,
sorry.
I better do something interesting damn quick, huh?
Yeah. There you go. I like your mug.
Thanks. It is my trademark mug. I've had it for probably 20 years.
Nice. These are the mugs I have on my desk, in case you're wondering, because I know everybody wants to know. I have this that I got from my writer's retreat. I do a writer's retreat.
Yep.
Every year in Gatlinburg. So we all get together and hang out and write for a weekend. And then it's fun. And then I've got, obviously, Mulder and Scully.
I would expect nothing less.
This is an original from the 90s, too.
Oh, really?
By the way. Yeah. And then I've got the boot mug. Anybody who knows Bad Blood, the episode, knows the boot mug.
The boot blood. Mm.
Yeah. So, anyways, just a little insight.
Yeah, this is what I have. I have well, you can't read it because I'm mirroring, but it says bullshit. Morning. Bullshit. Of course, I push that all the time. Then I've got my help button.
Oh, it's all about you, isn't it, you dumb asshole?
Yeah. But they just run through and they say different things, but that's what I have on my desk, along with my Taz cup and Red Bull.
Awesome. Yep.
So,
well, I mean, I think, we covered the books. I mean,
the books, the podcast, and everything else. So I think
got it covered.
You got it covered. All right. We got the kids. We got the kid milk. Okay.
Yeah.
Not knowing their name, but that's all right. Cool. Well, other than that, and we got politics out of the way too. I mean, gosh, we're really efficient.
We're like burning through this.
We are burning through this. No problem. All right. Well, with that, I'm going to go ahead and bid you adieu. I'd like to thank everybody for listening. This is Jeff Bacon with Take Two. This is Jeff Bacon with the DIY Writer Podcast. I want to thank Sarah Blair for coming on and enticing us with all the X-Files stuff. We should have asked her what her favorite conspiracy theory is, but we have time for that. What's your favorite conspiracy theory?
Oh, gosh.
Oh, come on. X-Files?
Well, I mean, obviously, aliens. It has to be aliens.
It has to be aliens?
Do aliens exist?
Do aliens exist?
I think so.
Really?
We can't be alone. No, there's no way. There's too much out there. Men in Black, definitely a thing.
Men in Black is definitely a thing. All right. Mm-hmm. Which coincides with the X-Files.
Exactly. Alex Trebek, R.I.P.
No kidding.
Pour one out.
Absolutely. Well, with that, I want to thank everybody for listening, and I want everybody to have just an awesome day. Keep your chin up, and we'll see what happens soon in the future. And if it's anything interesting, we'll write about it. Bye.
Please hit the subscribe button. I get a bonus for every subscriber, and I only need 1,506 more to become a full-time paid employee. Help me, please.